We all have that one friend, the one who says exactly what's on their mind, no matter what. And that's Sheetal Mars.
That's right. Every week, my friends and I dive into whatever's on my mind: sports, politics, pop culture, even my own struggles, you name it. If I'm thinking about it, we're talking about it.
Unfiltered, unapologetic, and just a little dangerous. Get ready for the wild ride that is Sheetal Weapon. You've been warned.
Oh, I wonder if it picked up the thunder. Welcome to episode 8176 of Sheathal Weapon. I am Lethal Sheathal. Where's Biggie Tro? That was the perfect cue up for I'm Biggie Tro, but no.
Okay, listen. For the last 8,913 episodes, you have introduced me. So how dare you? Okay? After what has probably been 50 years of this podcast, you're going to just change it up on me now?
You know, anything can happen on this show. You know this. I don't even remember what number I said. And let's just say that the labors continue. It's just, we keep coming back for more and more. And we keep wondering, why?
Well, I'm pretty sure you said this was, episode 14,309?
That feels right.
Yeah, I think so.
I do. I feel like I've aged that many episodes since the last episode, which was however many weeks ago. But You know what's great? And I feel like we did this on purpose, and we so did. We so did this on purpose. Mm-hmm. The last episode we did was right before Juneteenth, or on Juneteenth. It was right before. Mm-hmm. And then today is July 4th Eve. So tomorrow is, fireworks and the meats. But not Arby's. I know they have the meats, but that's not the meats we're talking about.
Exactly. They're not sponsoring us, so
yeah.
None for you, Arby's.
So Arby's, let me ask you a question. I am a sober vegetarian. I would also like to have the meats. I've never frequented an Arby's. I feel discriminated against.
That's true. The discrimination is real.
It is. I don't make a veggie burger because 90% of them are trash. But Arby's, hear me out. If you make a really freaking great grilled cheese, because I know you have that bread. It's like a bread. It's not a burger. It's like a bread sandwich situation. Wait. All sandwiches are a bread sandwich?
I was about to say, I'm
Jesus.
As opposed to the double down?
No, because there are sandwiches that people make, a lettuce wrap is not a fucking sandwich. Mm-hmm, if you put things in between two pieces of lettuce, is that a sandwich?
I don't believe so. However,
it is an abomination. We can at least agree with that.
If you put a piece of chicken between two pieces of chicken.
Well, okay.
The KFC double down.
Okay, KFC. As a sober vegetarian, I too would like to have chicken between two pieces of chicken. How do I get the experience without any of the animal cruelty? I would love that. Or forget about the animal cruelty. We're past that. We're hypocrites. I think my shoes are leather. Let's just keep it moving. Without the indigestion. The digestive pyrotechnics, as I like to call it.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. So I too would like the experience. The crispiness without the vomiting. KFC should work on it. Arby's. Holla at your girl. Because I think this is the foundation of a beautiful episode.
I think so.
By the way,
I think we're on the right track.
since we're talking about sandwiches, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No. Okay. Why?
My view of a sandwich is it has to have 2 pieces of bread that are not connected.
It cannot be wait.
Because what I'm thinking about is in the terms of like a calzone where they merge. I'm thinking 2 separate pieces of bread.
But
Okay. What's the exception?
that you can't even go there, because if you think about it, when you use like a French bread or like a hoagie and you cut it down the middle, you're not making 2 pieces of bread. You're making an opening. So technically, all of my Subway sandwiches are just salad-based hot dogs.
Yeah, because that would constitute the exact same thing as a hot dog bun.
Yes.
Wow.
I've just rocked your world.
Wow.
No, you're my brother. That's weird. I just blew your mind.
Very
that's
good. Very good. But yeah,
that's the better phrase.
It's true though. Yeah, I have had a lot of veggie hot dogs in my life from Subway.
Yes.
I never thought about it.
Now, does it matter? Is it a sandwich whether you're eating it where the meat is in like a cradle? So if you eat it that way and the toppings are kind of up and like waving hello to you, or if you flip it horizontally and you look at it from God's view, do you see bread or do you see the insides? Because the argument could be, if you're looking top down, if you just flip it over, it's a sandwich. And maybe it's not a hot dog. It's not a hot dog anyway, because there's no dog and it's not hot.
It can be hot.
Unless you get it toasty.
Exactly. So Subway. Let's talk about some advertising. I think you've got a whole new brand that'll set you apart from all the other places. All them sandwich places, they got nothing on you.
Yes. Why do they not make hot dogs?
Exactly.
They should. They have all the stuff. This is. I keep in mind, I wouldn't eat it. So,
but
this is a free idea.
Think. Foot-long
hot dog. Oh, okay. Come on.
You got this, Subway.
We believe in you. We do.
So, Arby's, KFC, and Subway compete.
Yes. I would love to see the race between whatever we just said and whatever we just said, trying to make new things and have it be interesting.
Exactly.
Now, my contention is that a hot dog is an American taco.
Okay. But then what is a taco?
A Mexican hot dog. and by extension then, what's a dosa? You feel me, right?
I feel you. What's a crepe?
No, because it's sweet. And they do kind of wrap it. It's not like it's like a sweet quesadilla, but there's no cheese. Like they wrap it up. Like it's not served to you like a taco, is it?
It's usually wrapped up like a dosa.
I feel like it's like a cake-based omelet.
No. So we've got a lot of questions here, not a lot of answers yet.
I don't know. I think because it's sweet, I can't put it in this like the savory realm. But it could be a French taco dessert.
But then
It's
again,
a dessert taco.
what is so all tacos have to be savory.
Is there a dessert taco? Well, I've seen that where they have like the waffle shell and they fill it with ice cream.
Exactly. The Choco Taco.
The Choco. I've never had one. Why have I never had one?
Because you haven't lived. As
I
we've
haven't.
discussed, Arby's.
We have never lived. Okay. This went off the rails hard. So I don't know what episode this is, but if you've made it this far, this is Sheathal Weapon. I am Lethal Sheathal. And we wanted to do the episode today. Here's what happened. Let me do a BTS type of thing for our listeners, which, by the way, I have now realized how I can tell a listener from a non-listener.
Ooh.
A non-listener calls me Sheathal. I'm like, I know you've never listened to the show.
What if they just skipped episode 1 and also don't care? They hear you introduce yourself, but it never registers.
Then why are they listening? You would think just by osmosis.
I don't know. I've had a lot
It's
of
like
friends.
saying watching Peppa Pig and just willfully going, I watched PP Pig today. like, why would you do that?
I mean, sure, but they don't practice it themselves.
But it's in your head.
That doesn't guarantee that they know how to say it.
That would be willfully changing a word that you've never heard me say. Like, okay, it could be that people I know just can't change. No, I'm not even going down this road.
Look,
they're not listeners.
I'm just telling you that a lot of Indian dishes, no matter how many times I pronounce it, my friends cannot match me.
Well, that's true. I can't even match it. You know
Exactly.
what? I didn't even say dosa right.
Probably not. And I'm probably not pronouncing them right either, hence I'm really setting them on the wrong path, but that's all right.
I would love for them. I would love to do that. Like, that's such a fun experiment to just take people and go, they introduce me to your culture, show me your food, and just give it a random name. And then,
They would never know.
And then have them go to an Indian restaurant, try to order it. That would be so good.
I like it. I think that's important.
By the way, I don't know. This is not by the way at all. This is completely unrelated. By the way, I haven't even gotten to the behind the scenes. We have gone several tracks to the left here. We've jumped a lot of hurdles to get to.
Or have we really just found our true calling in life? Setting sandwich places against each other.
I think so. All is a conspiracy to help Indian places
Exactly.
take over. I think so.
Cause division amongst the ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I think this is our new calling. I'm a little concerned right now. Unrelated. I have Bruno in my lap.
Yeah.
He's very fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
But he gets very scared when it rains and he's shaking really crazily, and I'm trying to hold him and make him calm. But you might hear a little panting. That is not me. It's not me. And it's not that kind of show.
I would hope not.
It is so gross. No. But he might be panting, and you might hear that. You might hear him pick up. Bruno is looking at the mic. He's like, save me. Save me from the thunder. The thunders are making me scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's Florida. It rains every afternoon in Florida. It's just part of what it means to be a Floridian. And it's hot and it's wet and it's swampy and it's awesome. Like, we just
It's
love it.
hot while it rains.
Yes.
And then it's
steamy.
hotter after it rains.
Yes. Well, because it's thick now. It's
Yep.
like steamy. It's like being in a sauna, except it surrounds you. The environment is a sauna. Anyway, behind the scenes. Back to that, because that's what everyone's here for. So we spent, how many hours having all sorts of conversations about various topics, various highbrow political topics, because, that's the kind of people we are. And we're like, we should make this the next episode. We really should. We should talk about this. Okay. But no.
We've deemed that inappropriate, I think. Why would we want to talk about serious things?
Yeah, I do.
When we have serious problems to solve.
And we need serious people to solve them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, how is Arby's going to get us
a vegetarian sandwich?
Vegetarian sandwich, exactly. These are the real problems that we need to solve.
I think so. I think that's the real problem. But no, what ended up happening is I had too much of a good time on the last episode. I really enjoyed it. I laughed so hard, and that was really fun and chaotic and the real me, if I'm going to be honest. And as much as I have really big opinions on all things political and want to talk about it, and we'll probably get to some of it today, I don't know that I want to be preachy. I don't think this voice was built to be preachy.
No,
it wasn't. I
not.
think this voice was made to be quiet. I'm just not. I'm not compliant.
Well,
as my doctor will tell you, I am non-compliant.
I think our voices were meant to be asleep.
Yes. Okay. So, if you're Indian, if you're Indian, you're not going to get this either, because I think this is just a me and you thing.
Oh yeah.
Like,
we have
bastardized,
butchered this real hard.
Because I don't even think it's Hindi. I don't know.
It may not even be real words.
Okay. So when the catchphrase that I have heard all my life as a sober vegetarian Indian is that we often say we're tired. We're all very anemic. It's a low iron diet. And so we often say we're tired. And the foundation of our society is telling people how tired we are and how badly we need to nap. And so much of our imagery is of us lounging. We are a people who lounge. We are not go-getters. We are mental go-getters. We have very active minds. But the bodies were built for lounging.
That's right.
And so we often, me and my brothers, will get together and we'll just say, tak lage. Which means, to us, don't know if it actually means this, it means I'm tired. Or I have the feeling of tired. Or it has the feeling of tired. I don't know how this conjugates.
Some form of tired is happening there.
Right. So now I think, so we then bastardize it even further, and we'll come and talk to each other, and we'll be like, the talk is lagging real hard. Like, it's so lagging.
So much talk.
Yeah. Look, you know how you can tell the talk is lagging? It's taking my brother 85 minutes to respond to my joke.
For real.
He has to let that settle and marinate in his mind before he says anything.
I need a few minutes to just really decompress after each thing she says.
It's a lot.
Look, there's just not enough talk for this lager.
There's not enough talk for this lager. Yes. So you are getting a very lazy episode because we put in so much work. We sat there and we talked about transgender issues. We talked about Israel and Palestine. We talked about religion. We talked about the big, beautiful bill. We talked about so much that is going on right now. We talked about economics and billionaires and democratic socialism and capitalism and like, what do we do? And at the end of the day, we both concluded, this is hours long conversations, that fuck it, there's not much you can do about it. Like, really, at this point, it's really not much you can do about it.
It is what it is.
Which is not inspiring. And then we realized how uninspiring that was. And we're like, we can't say that, because we should be trying to make the world a better place. But that feels like effort, and the talk is logging real hard.
That's what we're trying to say. Exactly. See, it's not that we don't care. It's that talk lacking.
Right.
Okay.
I think we're tired because we care so much.
I think so.
It is. And so the ultimate conclusion, because I was trying to find a theme, and I do want to talk about these issues in a profound way. And part of it was that as we talked about the issues, there is something to be said about laying out the framework within which, homophobia exists, within which transphobia exists, within which, xenophobia exists. All this stuff that happens in the world, like why people think the way they do in a really negative connotation, right? And how do we flip it on its edge? And like the strongest argument I have for why all of this stuff just shouldn't be part of the national discourse, or why we should just get along, is like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, here, I'll give you an example. So we were talking about transgender issues, and you're probably wondering, what the fuck is this episode about? This episode is about how we couldn't find a way to find a topic to make this episode. Like, we couldn't find a singular episode we wanted to talk for 2 hours about. But I'll give you an example of how off the rails this got real fast, and why it was so hard for us. We were talking about transgender issues, and as everyone knows, and I'm going to put the soundbite out here. This is the best soundbite I'm going to give the internet. I am the most transphobic racist that has ever existed. I am so bad. But what we're talking about is, you can talk about it from like the most important, which is healthcare and psychological care for people with body dysmorphia, who are transgender, or any other form. And like, do we define that as a mental illness? Do we define that as a expression paradigm, in that maybe it's not a mental illness, maybe it's just what it is, and we have to have the right medical services to deal with it, that this is the expression of a brain, just like we have autism and ADHD. It doesn't mean that it's like wrong to be those things. We just have to have the infrastructure to deal with the fact that these things exist, right? Mm-hmm. So that was one part of it. Like, how do we, like, that's the super, serious, important topic that we should actually discuss with a great deal of care. And then the other part of it was bathrooms, and like this part of it, like, why can't people just pee in peace? This doesn't make sense to me. I just don't get, nothing in me can understand why a human being, like, going to a public restroom is so fucking traumatic. I desperately try not to make eye contact with another human being in a public restroom. Like, if it's a shared bathroom with stalls, and I can't even imagine it from a male's perspective, with a fucking trough or urinal or whatever bullshit you have in there, where it just reeks of urine and feces.
Okay.
Like, why is this a sacred place?
So at least in most men's bathrooms, the urinals are separated by a divider and, things of that nature, and each urinal is its own. But I have been in certain public bathrooms where it literally is just a giant trough that you all just pull up to together.
It's very intimate.
And you're like, but why though? Why would this be the design? I don't understand.
And God help you if you have to enter a stall. Like that is just straight out of Saw. Like I think a man's worst nightmare is having to take a deuce in a public restroom.
I try very hard. I plan around it each day. I go, okay, so what are we talking about? So you want to go out tonight. What time? 7? Okay, so at 6 o'clock I need to take a deuce. It's a constant part of my process. You know, it's just got to really plan this one out.
You need to either shit or take an Imodium. You have two choices.
Exactly.
You don't have, I can just raw dog it. And make sure,
this is not going to work out. Not going to work out.
Like, this is what we're protecting. That a man's right. A man has the right to blow up a public restroom in peace.
Exactly.
And how dare that man want to, like, I know plenty of men who are like, I can't go in there. And they will knock on the women's bathroom and be like, I can't. Don't make me go in there. I just need to go to the bathroom. And I need to use a clean one. And they will come into the women's restroom. Like, I know there are a lot of like pearl clutching about that, but I have absolutely let a man in on a women's bathroom because the terror that I could see in his eyes.
It is really hard. And my question that I have is, why isn't this the national discourse?
Yeah, why are public restrooms so fucked?
This is more important. When are we going to solve this national crisis?
Yeah, like why is it that we're even this is something we can all get behind. Yeah. Like a Shell gas station bathroom
is not an option.
Like, brave is the soul that enters there, whoever they may be.
Let me put it to you this way. Yeah, I walk into a Shell. Well, I don't want to diss Shell. Okay, any gas station, especially the more lowbrow gas stations, the mom and pop shop gas stations bathroom.
The one that they give you the wood stick to take outside.
I have to toss away my shoes after entering.
Yeah.
You cannot keep those shoes. It's over.
No, you have to go into the place. You have to buy something, get 2 plastic bags, cover your shoes, and then enter, and then hover. You do a hover move. You don't. If you're sitting, don't tell me you're sitting.
No, but my thought process is also
you gotta work the quad muscles.
Well,
pop a squat.
No, of course. But you can't even feel like washing your hands is helping you get cleaner. I actually feel like I'm making my hands dirtier by using the sink and the soap.
Oh my God. And if they have one of those Dyson, or those, accelerators, whatever it is, where they blow the air.
I hate those.
So now it's like a tornado of fecal matter just swirling around.
They don't work that well. And just,
Oh, it's horrible. But sure, we would rather trans people take a leak outside. We would rather them find a wayward bush than...
Well, but wait a second. One could say that they're the ones getting the better end of this deal.
Okay, so the thought had crossed my mind that if you had the gender neutral bathrooms, which rarely get used, or the family bathroom, which is almost always clean, and that's what you're forced to use. Now, the problem is that doesn't exist in every place. But if that's what you're forced to use, excuse me, I have to use this. I can't. The preference would always be to use the family bathroom. The only problem, okay, so this is me. I have the option of going in the girls' bathroom. And there's usually a family bathroom. But I will say 80% of the time, that family bathroom, someone's in there or it's locked.
Sure.
It's not really available. And let's be honest. Let's all be honest. when I go into a restroom with stalls, like because this is not a male experience. This is a girl's experience.
Sure.
It's all stalls. Stall location is extremely important. I don't care who's in there. I don't care if there's 100 people in there. I don't care if people are waiting outside. Choosing the right stall is exceedingly important. So like, let's say you're going to a like stadium or something, and there or airports, where it's like a big bathroom, lots of places to shit. Like you have so many options. Okay, here's my strategy. First of all, again, no eye contact, 0 eye contact. We don't have to do that. I don't need to know who else is in here, and I would prefer that you don't know that I'm in here. I don't know if I have to take a shit. Like I saw that thing where it says, not all pee-pee times are poopy times.
Sure.
But all poopy times are pee-pee times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I feel that on a deep personal level. Yes.
I don't know what's about to come out of me. Like, I know I have to pee, but as a girl, I'm sitting, so multiple, like I could be doing a number 3. We don't know what's happening here. So I could be in there and I don't know what the sounds are. I don't know if I have to deal with my period. I don't know. So I need privacy. I prefer privacy. And anybody who's disabled, please click off now. I desperately prefer the larger space of the disabled stall. I try to beeline it my way right to it.
Every time.
Every time. I know. I don't need it. I know. It's not for me. And it must be made clean. Now, I am respectful. I don't fucking blow up a bathroom. Like, I clean and I make sure that I don't leave toilet paper on the ground and I don't make it wet everywhere. Like, respect. All right? I know I don't need it. And I know that it's probably a 1 in 100 chance that someone who's truly disabled and needs to use the restroom is going to come walking up into that stall and I'm going to be in there. Like, just taking up a place that doesn't belong to me. I get it. Does that mean I will stop using disabled bathrooms?
No.
Nope. I like the roominess and the privacy. It's always in the back.
It is.
And it's so rarely used. It is the least used stall. Now, if that's not an option, because again, we go to crowded places. It's one of those things where there's a line. You got to wait for someone to come out before someone can go in. I always skip the first one. Like the one that you can see from the line. Like, I don't need people seeing me. Like, okay, so first one's out. Why is it that the first one's out because I don't want to be seen? Second one always has shit and toilet paper in it.
Always.
It's
like it's supposed to.
Like, why?
But I missed that memo. But I guess there must have been one.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
That second toilet, and I think it's because it's a very popular toilet, because you skipped the first one. That's a very popular toilet. It's now clogged and blown up.
It's unacceptable.
It's always out of order. And it is not my job to fucking plunge this shit. I'm not flushing it.
No.
There's no lid.
I don't
I'm
work
not
here.
letting that, shit tornado hit my nostrils. Not my problem.
Exactly.
No. So I peek in. There's a line. I peek in. There's no one in there for a fucking reason. Now you're going down the line. And so now you're just looking for any clean stall, right? Because now the urgency is there.
Yep.
And like, God fucking damn it. But if there is no clean stall and you're stuck with that shit, what do you do? I'm trying to think of what I have done. I think I do try to flush it and get it to go down before I use it. But of course, now I'm doing the pee-pee dance while I'm waiting for the outcome of this decision.
Yeah. You give it a shot. You try.
Like I do. And it's gross. And then I have to take toilet paper or whatever and kind of clean the room. Most of these bathrooms do not have that toilet liner shit. So now I've got to clean it up and try to make it. And then again, these quads are on fire. I got to hover. All public bathrooms, you are hovering. Unless you're ill, you are hovering. So there's that one. But then I try to find something, if in most cases, I will find one centrally located that's clean-ish, use it, come out, wash my hands. Now, all public bathrooms are not only sexist. Let's be real. 2, they are also racist. And you're going to go, why? We do not have segregated toilets. This doesn't make sense. I will tell you why. Those motherfucking hand sensors never pick up my melanated hands. Never.
True.
Never.
I frequently wonder if they don't work.
So you're fucking like putting, and I'm now got jazz hands under this fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. You're dancing. You're doing the rain dance. You're trying to make it work.
I'm trying to find, and there's no like red laser where it's like put hand here. Like, you're trying to figure out where it's picking you up, and you're doing this thing. And everybody's looking at you like you don't know how to use a fucking faucet. That's because they eliminated handles, fucking handle, like, some things don't need to be an app. Some things don't need to have electricity. Handled faucets work just fine. And I will tell you, I have one of these godforsaken things in my house, and I hate it.
It's the worst.
Hate it. So anyway, now this, and then I got to go to another one, and it doesn't work, and I got to go to another one, and finally it fucking picks me up, and then I get water and like soap and stuff. But I'm telling you, it has to do, and someone's going to say, no, it has to do with like heat or the position of your hand or some shit. I'm like, no, all these white people are out here washing their hands. Well, by the way, dirty secret. All these white people out here are not washing their hands.
Usually.
They're not. They don't even try. You know why? Why people try to wash their hands? And I'll let you finish your thought. I believe the more crowded the bathroom, the more likely you are to wash your hands. No? Go. Tell me.
Let me explain. And this having been in so many public men's restrooms, I have seen people perfect the art of the 1 second rinse.
So now you have wet germs.
I came to the sink, so you assume I've done my job, right?
Because we don't make eye contact.
Exactly. Right? How do you know that I didn't wash my hands? I turned the faucet on. Right?
You heard the water.
It's been done. And you're not looking at me. How do you know I didn't have soap? Fair. But the 1 second part kind of gives it away.
I'm telling you. Y'all gross. I'm just saying, y'all gross. I definitely wash my hands in a public restroom 100% of the time.
Yes.
Because it's gross.
Always. I don't want to die. But I have, when you talk about these sensors, let me tell you something. So there is a certain situation where we combine both the sensor problem with the stall problem and the, things not being very clean or flushed problem. Now, at the old office.
Oh, yes.
Having had to go number 2, would find two things would happen to me. Okay, so first thing, couldn't get it to flush, just couldn't. But it flushed before I, sat down or anything, right? Like it definitely picked up that I had entered the stall, and flushed when it was already flushed, and now it'll never flush again.
Yes.
And so I couldn't get it to flush. And then people coming in and out, noticing this, dance back and forth, trying to desperately get this thing to flush.
They were definitely thinking you did this.
Leaves me going, you know what? Okay. I guess I just live here now. I have to wait 30 minutes.
You can't leave it because
for all people to end. They must all exit the bathroom. I must know the coast is clear before I can leave this bathroom now. Exactly. And they could, but I had to wave my hand for like 15 minutes, wouldn't work. I had to go and exit the stall to re-enter the stall, to exit the stall, to re-enter the stall, going kind of in this like back and forth motion, trying to trigger whatever it is that makes it flush before you use it.
Oh, because it doesn't have the button.
Yeah, there was no button. Now, this traumatic experience where sometimes, in the early going, I was able to make it work. I was able to, do the dance just the right way, and it would finally flush after about 3 hours. But
so that's where you go.
One time, after however much dancing, it would not flush.
I remember this day. You disappeared for a really long time.
And it was this day that I came to the conclusion that I could no longer live this way. This was unacceptable. And I started going to the third floor, or sometimes the second floor, because those floors had buttons. Now, here's where the story really gets great. Clearly, I was not the only one who had this issue, because a couple months before we left that office, they had installed buttons. And I'm like, that's right. Buttons were actually the best technology.
Yes.
Buttons and handles and stuff.
Yes, I miss it. I miss it so much. Like, y'all, you young people don't know the magic that is a button. It was immediate gratification. It was very satisfying.
I really enjoy buttons. See, like on TVs and monitors, there was once a day when they had buttons. And yeah, you didn't want to go up to them to use those buttons. But if you lost the remote, there was a way.
Yeah, you could still use the TV.
Now, it's over. You've bricked your TV. It is unusable for the rest of time.
Yes. Well, unless you're willing to spend money for a new remote. But I do find that with my monitor, too. Like, I can't find, like, it's saying that there's no, like, it's just black. But I know it's on. And you can't, there's no button to press. You can't, there's no manual override. And if you're in IT and you say, you dumb fucks, it's like on the back. That's,
okay, then you come and tell me where it is, because I have dissected these things. I have rotated them like a Rubik's Cube looking for this button. So you come tell me.
You know it's right in front of our face. You know it is. Like, it always is.
Dang it.
Have you ever, like, called for technical support and you're like, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. I've done this. I've done the turn it off, turn it on. I've done the reboot. I've done the drivers. I've done this. And this is the error. And you get on the phone with tech support and they say, all right, let's log in, see what you get. And you're like, all right, this is when the error shows up. And it just lets you in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Motherfuck.
Oh, yeah. There's no problem.
Like, it just.
But my favorite part is as soon as you get off the phone, it comes back.
That's right. Like, it's user error, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But anyway, let trans people pee in peace. Because this was the moral of this story, is let trans people pee in peace. No, but, like, public restrooms are public. It could all be just one restroom. We're all just trying to pee in peace and harmony. We just need to evacuate our bladder.
That's true.
And sometimes our bowels, though, again, we should let anybody do that. Like, just let trans people pee in peace. Like, honestly, this is so dumb. And honestly, here's the thing. If you're one of those people that is out there making eye contact and like looking people up and down in the public restroom, honestly, I feel like I need to be protected from you. There should be a law that is, public restrooms is a no eye contact space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I should not have to be assaulted by your judgy eyes.
Oh, yeah. For real. You should not know that I've entered.
You shouldn't know what I look like.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to pick me out of a lineup.
That's right.
Like, it is an anonymous, judgment-free space.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
We were doing horrible things in there. Like,
it is a place of suffering.
It is a place of so much suffering.
And I don't understand why we don't all commiserate together.
Yeah, this is one of those
This should
places.
be a bonding moment.
It really should be. Like, no one should be excluded from this. Except for you, with your judgy eyes.
Exactly. Whoever you are, you know what you've done.
Yeah. And we know it's you.
Exactly.
Yes. So that was one example of why this would not be a good topic for an episode. Keep in mind that we gave you like the 15-minute version. We did that for like 2 hours. We went on like that for a while. Let me do it like Stewie with like a white sail. We did it for a while. We did. Like, so.
Indeed.
No. And honestly, okay, and that was after we got really heavy into transphobia, like saying such stupid things, like why people are nervous around trans people. And here is my theory, because I'm going to switch topics soon to the other ones that were resoundingly rejected. Here's my theory. I feel like for women, there are some women that are like, if we allow anybody to be quote unquote a woman, then it makes the definition of woman really confusing. Like, am I a woman? Is being a woman just putting on a dress or looking feminine? Is that what the measure of a woman? Is it my brain? Is it my hormones? Is it my what? And you say, well, it's your chromosomes and that makes you a woman. And I'm like, okay, big fucking whoop. Honestly, it's not that awesome. Like, if you're willing to join this shit show, more power to you. Like, it's not, like, my whole identity is not wrapped up in whether how someone else chooses to define womanhood. And my thinking is that the debate itself on what makes a woman is probably damaging in and of itself. Like, it's probably, we're not approaching it correctly. And certainly from a legal perspective, the only reason, because we're never defining a man, if you've noticed. The first thing in all of those fucking debate shows is like, okay, what is a woman? Or a woman is XX chromosomes, prove me wrong. We're always defining womanhood. And the only reason to define what a woman is legally is to grant that group rights or take that group's rights away. I don't know that I need me to be subcategorized legally on a genetic level, because there is no way that works out for me. The only ones who need to know that I'm a quote unquote woman or what capabilities I have as a woman is my doctor, who should care that I'm functioning to some adequate capacity as a human being, because I have a different genetic makeup and a different hormonal panel. And like the person or people I wish to spend my life with, or the people that I love, and mostly so that we have a supportive, loving, honest relationship. For everybody else, it literally makes no fucking difference that I'm a girl. Like, the amount of times I get called sir is amazing. But that's because I have a unisex name. And most people think that like leaders are men. So I get called sir a lot. But honestly, what difference does it fucking make?
I get called ma'am a lot on the phone because I have a generally soft voice. And I'm like,
It is delightful though. You do have a soft voice. It's very soothing. It's one of the reasons you're on the show. It's very calming, and I like to listen to it, and it helps me get work done. So it's a gift and a curse.
I'm glad to hear that.
But yeah, so like I'm misgendered all the time. Not to the same extent as a trans person, obviously.
Well, of course.
But I'm misgendered all the time. My brother's misgendered all the time. And like my whole life and my whole attitude isn't wrapped up in whether you get my gender correct. And like, I guess that for when you're trans, it's a different thing because when you're maligned, you really have to fight hard for your identity. And so much of their existence is wrapped up in, gender recognition. And I get that. But when you were born a woman and you had your period, like, isn't like, oh, this needs to be an exclusive club. Like, we really need, we want this all to ourselves. We would love all of the benefits that inure to women to be just ours. Like, you do realize that when a person decides to be trans and they become a woman, they're like more likely to get raped and beaten, whatever the fuck. Like, they become a girl. Like, honestly, they get fucked over like girls. And it's not awesome, but they do it anyway. So we should let them. And I think, so that's on the girl side, is like just not understanding and not valuing your own femininity and really tying your identity and self-worth to how other people view femininity. That's a weird thing. And I think for men, and this is going to be very simplistic and probably rude, I think if you're a man, the society tells you that, or biology tells you, you need to procreate, right? So you need to seek eggs. And if there are people out there, quote unquote, masquerading as women, you kind of run around and go, do I fuck it? Do I not fuck it? Is that fuckable? Like, I need a sign. Like, we can't have the confusion. Like, for a guy, like, they're just looking around like, oh, the people with beards are not fuckable. The people that are soft and smell nice, go over there. There are opportunities to procreate. like they feel like it's really basic like that. Like, and then we get there. It's like when they meet a woman and they find out, oh, what if that woman is trans? And it's like a mirage. And they don't know what to do. Now they're mad. Like, I thought you were fuckable. And she's like, well, I still am. I just can't give you babies. And he's like, yeah, but I'm only here because biology's telling me I gotta make babies. There's no response to that. There's no, look. Let trans people pee in peace. Let's just realize. But I feel like it is like that. Like, I feel like it goes back to that central premise I have about men in general. That men believe, not men. Let's put it this way. A loud group of whiny men. I think it's probably a minority. But a loud group of whiny men really believe that all women should want to fuck all men, and all women have a responsibility to be fuckable to all men. So a woman shouldn't have standards. A woman shouldn't have any of those things. And so I think why men get so upset about the transgender female situation is they get really in a tizzy, like, oh, one, you're not fuckable. Two, you don't want to fuck me. Three, if I do want to fuck you and you're fuckable, what does that make me? Am I gay now? Am I straight? I don't know. And we know how, like, whiny men, how they process complex topics.
Wait, they process complex topics?
No, they don't. So they get really upset. And so I think that's where all that is. And we go back to, like, again, why we didn't want to talk, because this is all really horrible to say. But I think when we go back to this, it's like, mind your business, and just, like, it doesn't impact you that much, and it's really not that serious, and let people just live. Like, it's not that hard.
Well, that's where we generally wind up, is it's not worth a national debate. If we're going to talk about bathrooms, let's talk about...
One-ply toilet paper.
is an abomination.
If we're going to talk about bathrooms, can we please talk about one-ply toilet paper?
Can you please remember to put soap in there?
Yes.
Can you please make sure that you even have the one-ply toilet paper? Because the alternative is traumatizing.
Yeah, and when you have the soap in the dispenser, can you make sure it comes out? Speaking for a friend.
Can you not put your soap dispenser with the sensors that don't work?
Exactly. Again, buttons.
For real?
It's a mechanism. It's mechanics. Now I don't have to use electricity. Like,
let me just press it or
and
something.
The soap comes out.
Yeah. Come on. It was an awesome technology.
It really was, and didn't need to be fixed. And so this is what's important. I don't think it's valuable to have a national debate on the validity of trans people. Trans people are valid. That's just enough. Like, that's done. That's objective. Let's just do that. Trans people are valid. They're here. They exist. They need to pee. They need to take a shit. We don't want that to happen in a bush outside of TJ Maxx.
Let me tell you, that would be far more traumatizing, I believe.
By the way, if we're allowing that, because, emergencies happen, am I allowed to do that?
I would sign up for that deal all day, honestly. Based on what crimes have occurred within men's bathrooms, I'd sooner not go in.
So, question, because we're on the topic.
Sure.
Porta-potties.
No.
By the way.
No.
No one should have to use a porta-potty.
No.
That is a crime against humanity.
That is just not okay.
All gender expressions should boycott.
For real.
The porta-john.
It's a bad thing.
It's an abomination.
I find it honestly to be a form of abuse.
It really is. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing I don't get. It is a plastic outhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hole.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But it doesn't come with the accoutrements that the holes in India come with. There's no bucket of water.
No.
There's nothing to, like, make this work.
Nope.
Like, if I'm going to hover over a hole in the open air, like, there should be things.
Yeah.
And honestly, there should be designated shitting porta-johns, porta-potties. This is where the shits go. There shouldn't be, like, commingling of fluids.
And those definitely need, well, but then again, they always will, because
Not all poopy times are pee-pee times.
Exactly.
So I hope Josh is listening and made it all the way into an hour as he tries to find a title for this episode, because this is highbrow.
We're here to solve the important issues. Somebody's got to discuss what matters here.
Somebody really does.
Exactly.
Somebody really does. Now, on to Israel. Let's talk about Israel.
That a smooth transition as well.
It was so smooth. It was exactly how I intended it to go from porta-potties to Israel. There's no salvaging. It's already fucked. Like, okay, so again, several hours of conversation about Israel.
Over many days.
Because we're like, serious topic deserves to be thought of seriously. And I kept going back, but I don't want to be serious. Like,
and
I want to be
researched and
serious.
stuff, yeah.
But I don't want to be preachy. I'm a person that cares and a person that is thoughtful. And, you know, I'm not a historian. I'm not perfect at this. I have an opinion. Does my opinion matter? Not a whole fucking lot when it comes to this. Like, I have an opinion and I'm perfectly happy to share it, but there's no way for that opinion to not get misconstrued, regardless of where I land on this.
Yep.
Right? Like, there's no way
chance
to say this perfectly tactfully in such a way that we can have a coherent conversation about nation states, about religion, about genocide, about historical exploitations of people, about victimization, about all of these things. And if you think that I'm landing on one side or the other just by me using those words, keep in mind that all these words apply to all peoples, right? Like, everybody has been harmed. Like all nation states have done harm to indigenous populations. All of them. 100% of them. None of them are innocent. And so there is no moral high ground by any nation state to be lecturing Israel on anything. That being said, is there a conversation to be had about the actions a nation state takes with regard to the people within its jurisdiction, within its power to influence? I think there is a conversation to be had. I think the amount of influence I should have over that conversation is fuck all. I really do. I have an opinion, but I don't know that my opinion should have weight. You know whose opinions should have weight? Palestinians and Israelis. Those opinions should have weight over this conversation. The problem is they're not talking. And we have to get to a point where they decide that talking is better than fighting. And that's true of India, Pakistan, right? That's true of America and apparently the whole world.
America and Canada. Natural born enemies. Oh, it's been an ongoing war since the start.
But here's the thing. And I am a patriot to my core. The Canadians do say a lot.
That's what I was thinking.
And the last time I was in Toronto, which was many, 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 many years ago, I went to a Burger King. And the Burger King veggie burger in Canada was severely disappointing. So there you have it.
I just want to emphasize this because you said something very important there. Arby's. Exactly. Arby's. There seems to be a very lucrative market in Canada for you. I believe that you should capitalize.
It's a gaping hole in the market in Canada.
Come on, it's wide open. And Subway, the hot dog market in Canada, wide open.
Yes,
come on,
we need to be exporting patriotism.
Come on,
we need to endear the world to our American ways.
Exactly.
We do. And that's the thing, is like, you know, Canadians, eh? Like, America's not wrong, though. Like, I kid. I love Canada. It's cold there.
Exactly. And, you know, can we talk about this whole 51st state thing? Why would we want to have 51?
Okay.
It's 50 is so nice.
Okay. How many province? This is why. So, back up. To make a short story long.
Yeah, exactly.
Back up. I told my brother not to bring his phone into the recording studio. Why? I need his undivided attention to laugh at my jokes. He is the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson. We need hearty chuckles here. And if he's on his phone, he cannot be hearty chuckling. But right now, we could really use your investigative skills to determine how many provinces are in Canada, because my argument would be that they should be individual states. Canada, there's a lot of space. You can subdivide Canada into its provinces, and then each province would be its own state. So it could be 60 states.
Well, first, I would ask this question: how many territories does the United States have? Like
Samoa,
yeah,
and Puerto Rico, and American Virgin Islands, and the other ones.
Exactly. So, what I would want to do is,
by the way, we are highly educated. We do really well with geography. Keep going. The other ones.
Yeah. I know what I know capitals. They
Lansing.
They're at the beginning of the first word in a sentence.
Yes. Oh yeah. Exactly.
So
see how
I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. We are so good. Keep
okay,
going.
now whatever that amount is, what you want to do is you want to say, okay, we need to now do 50 minus that amount and create that many extra states. Now, you might say, well, but can Canada be split up into 40-something states? And I say, we have a state called Rhode Island. I think we can make any amount of states we want.
Yeah, we could. We can make a lot of nice little cute states. You know what I would love to do? Is if we were going to do this and make it one big America, we should redraw our state lines. But do it like those puzzles where the shapes are like animals. But they all somehow fit together. Like AI could redraw state borders in such a way as to be super fucking cool.
But I think they've already been trying to do that with the gerrymandering.
No, because those lack imagination.
True.
Because if I'm going to gerrymander, not to be confused with salamander, which are precious. If I'm going to gerrymander, and they make these long, like snake-like bullshit districts that run across 200 miles, and then they have a dot, and then say, yeah, you're part of this district too. Like, that's what they do. Why? No, you should do it cute-like and make it like a little kitty. have little ears and little whiskers.
I like it.
And then that's like when you see county borders or district borders on a district map, you have all these regular ones surrounded by the cat face. It would be awesome.
It's true.
Like if you're going to gerrymander, and I highly recommend it. Like it's very successful at achieving ultimate power. Look at it. It's so good. But if you're going to do it, at least be awesome at it. Like at least be really creative. We could have had a tapestry of various shapes running through the Americas.
And I think that, with Canada, that gives us a second shot.
It does.
To really
It gives us
set
an
the
opportunity.
standard. Yeah.
And for Canadians, you guys do love a good time.
For real. Come on.
So I think we can make this pitch. We will export gerrymandering to you, and you will export universal health care.
I think that's a good trade.
I think so. I think I like this trade. I'm really in favor of it.
But I think they're getting the better end of this deal.
They really are.
So, they're going to have to throw in a little extra. They're going to have to sweeten the pot.
What are you suggesting?
I want the eh.
You want the eh. Oh. Ooh, that might be cultural appropriation.
It's just part of the package.
It is. This is a really... Okay. This might be a deal breaker.
I know.
I was going to go with lowering incidents of mass shootings.
No, that's something that we would have to give them. Higher mass shootings.
Yeah, they needed more guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guns.
Okay, so I think that's a good idea.
Guns for everyone.
Okay, yeah, guns for everyone, and we get the A. Okay. What else do we want? I want to be able to say both. I want a really, really strong O.
It's true.
I do. I think that makes me worldly.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I think the negotiations will have to continue. I do believe...
We're going to have to check the trade chart.
Yeah. We need to assign relative values to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much they're willing to give. I was going to say hockey, but Florida...
We've already taken it.
Yeah, we did.
We've taken it already.
We did. We took it and we put it in Florida and then we're crushing it.
Yeah. Where there is nothing cold.
No. There is no natural ice here. Yet. We have mastered hockey.
That's right.
This is where the best come to play. I suggested that the reason this has happened is because it's super fucking cold everywhere else. So you can play hockey, but then go to the beach. So all the best players want to come to Florida and be on a Florida team.
I agree with that.
I think, yeah. So we already took it. What else can we take? What else can we take from Canada? We are really good at taking things.
I wonder, what else does Canada have to offer?
Maple syrup.
Ooh. Okay.
Which is, okay, so I used to work with a bunch of Canadians, and they saw Aunt Jemima in my fridge.
Uh-oh.
And they're like, why? I'm like, but I love brown high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, exactly.
I really, really do.
It's important.
That's what you get at McDonald's on the hot cakes. So I like it. And then maple syrup is just too mapley. It's not the right sweetness, especially since I've grown up on, high fructose corn syrup.
Believe it.
Like, it would be like someone giving... Have you ever had grape juice, but you grew up on purple drink? Like,
they are not the same.
They are not the same. And
I prefer purple drink.
Purple drink.
Yeah.
We need purple drink because that's better.
Like red drink, orange drink. Those were the good times.
They were. And so, yes, this is what I'm thinking. Like, I don't care that maple syrup is better. I don't care that it's natural.
I don't care that it's healthy.
By the way, it's no longer Aunt Jemima. It is now Pearl Milling Company or whatever the fuck it is. But I miss Aunt Jemima.
For real.
She was comforting.
She was Aunt.
I wanted to hug her,
Jemima.
but she wasn't real. It was racist. It's fine. I get it. I get it. But Pearl Milling Company doesn't hit the heartstrings.
It does not.
And the way Aunt Jemima used to. But yeah, so they were very judgy. But I will judge Canadians. Let me be very judging back, given that they're not here.
Which is always important.
Yes, if you're going to talk badly about somebody, make sure they're not here.
And if we're going to negotiate trades with somebody, they should not be involved.
No, they really shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And honestly, I take back all the things I said about Israel. Exactly. But did you know Canadians drink milk out of a bag? It is a plastic bag. That's how they sell it. They don't get jugs. They have plastic bags of milk that they then have to put in a receptacle at home. I don't want this kind of socialism.
It's very strange.
I was like, I felt sad for them. I really did. I'm like, and mostly because I'm klutzy and I spill, that bag of milk would have been like half on the floor. Like, there's no way I don't spill in opening. There's not a spout. Like, you cut it.
I would puncture that thing in my car and have a very milky car.
Yes.
That's just how that would wind up.
I don't understand this plastic bag situation. And they're very fine with it. And they're like, let us live. Like, can't we just live? Let us live. Shut the fuck up about our plastic bag milk.
No, we're here to liberate you.
Oh, freedom, baby.
Exactly.
July 4th.
Exactly.
It's coming. We shall liberate you from your plastic bag milk.
And I think that that's something that it's important on this, July 4th Eve. We're here to liberate the people from terrible bathrooms.
Yes.
And from plastic bag milk. And I think that we're doing a really good job today of solving the world's problems.
Yeah, we look, it's so much winning today. We just banging it out. What other controversial topics can we bang out?
Let's see.
Okay, so there's Zora Momani, which I had to educate you on today. You're like, who the fuck? And he was in New York. Look. So we were born in New York. I went to school in New York. I very much love New York. You were there for all of 8.5 minutes. You're a Floridian.
I was like a year and a half or something.
Yeah, when we moved. Yeah. You were a babushka.
Technically, yes, was born up there, but
no, you have zero recollection.
I have one.
Oh.
Maybe two single image memories.
Tell me.
So they're not vivid. They're not they're literally just a picture in my head.
Okay. Describe. I am learning things. Tell me more about you, this person I've known for almost 40 years. Do tell.
Well, see, I remember the house that we lived in, and I remember this image of me following you looking for toys.
Yes.
Because that was essential.
Yes.
And that's largely, what I remember. Where were we when we were crossing the street to go to the hospital?
That was New Jersey. That was Wellsville, New Jersey, which had an epic playground, by the way. Shout out Wellsville, New Jersey.
So I remember that more vividly. Those I do have actual motion picture images. But yeah, time in New York is just a couple of still pictures that pop up. Which I'm rather proud of, given that I was a year and a half. I think I'm doing pretty all right.
But that wasn't even the city. So that was upstate New York. And we moved around a lot as little kids. It was a lot less moving once we came to Florida. We went to Orlando, and then we went to Gainesville, and then I came to Miami, and then you went wherever the fuck you go. I don't know. Here. You were here. Anyway. So but before that, we were in a bunch of little towns for a while, following our parents around as they found jobs, wherever they found jobs. So he's not like a New Yorker. I also am not a proper New Yorker, but I have such fond memories of New York, and there's so much I love about New York. So I've been following New York politics a bit. And so we were talking about Zora Momani earlier. And I remember distinctly going, don't waste all our heat. We need to save it for the show.
Well, yeah. And
so much heat has come out now.
Listen, you would have gone through all of this awesome bathroom and, Canada trade heat for nothing.
I know. We would have been spent and probably not recorded because that's what happens. We talk a lot off the air. And then we're like, the talk is lagging. So
for real.
We don't record.
And honestly, listeners, it's your fault for not being there. You're expecting us to put in all this work to bring us to you. What do you do for us?
Yeah, really.
Let's talk about that.
They don't listen. That's what they're doing. Because if they did,
good,
we would be nervous.
That's important.
And then we
exactly.
Do this. That's right.
Yeah, because it's very people-y.
It is very people-y.
And you should know that.
Yeah. So to all our non-listeners out there, thank you for doing us this solid.
Yeah, the best thing that you can do for us is not be around.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. We're really proud of you. We appreciate you. So anyway, he's running for mayor. He won the primary. Now, keep in mind that he won against basically criminals. Like the Democratic primary was full of like 70-year-old criminals. Like that's what we fielded for the mayor of fucking New York City. Like what is this? What is this? Chicago? Ooh, burn. That hurt. Sorry, Chicago. I felt that. I felt the sting.
It's really Gotham City.
Yeah.
Without Batman.
Yeah, that's right. Like it felt like they put up the fucking, Two-Face and the Penguin. Like they were like, we would like to be the mayor of New York. Like,
see, I would have been all right with that if they had put up the Riddler. Because at least he's interesting. He's got some good riddles.
Yeah, no, nobody interesting.
Exactly.
So we have Andrew Cuomo, Eric Adams. Like this is people that New Yorkers have already resoundingly rejected over the last few years. And then what's interesting too is that after COVID, a lot of the old guard New Yorkers have like left and they've gone to Texas and Florida. Like our whole neighborhood is New York transplants. Like that's what we have little Brooklyn here, which is not a bad thing. It feels at home. I love it. It's not, you can move wherever the hell you move. Freedom, baby. This is America. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, what's left in New York are people who couldn't move. So we're talking about younger New Yorkers. We're talking about people of lesser means who have remained in the city, who have stayed. And they're looking at their representation. Their representation is all pandering to a whole bunch of people who left. They fucking left. So yeah, it's not a fucking shock that New York has gotten younger, more politically active, moved even and New York already is further left than center on most topics, but you're going to move even further left because you have a hodgepodge of youth there now. Youth that can't afford to live in the city, even though all the rich people keep trying to leave. It's not shocking that Zora Momani, and I'm sure I'm not saying it right, but that he's like resonating with them. It's not fucking shocking. The Democratic Party and all the fucking 80-year-olds running this fucking party need to recognize that the world has changed. The politics of the left have changed, and we do have to embrace a younger view of the situation. Is everything he said correct? new. But given the choices, I would have voted for him too. Like if it was him or Eric Adams or Andrew fucking Cuomo, yeah, I'm gonna pick the new guy.
But this isn't really all that surprising. I mean, when we look at the Democrats in Congress, I think the youngest person in there is like 98. Yeah.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, there are these younger. There's more and more younger people coming into politics. That's true. I mean, AOC is basically geriatric at this point.
I mean, sure. But in terms of those with actual influence.
No, they're all fucking 90 and barely coherent. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, we keep wanting to, like, these income. Like, honestly, I am very much kind of in this mindset of, kick them all out. We need to just start fresh with new people because everybody fucking sucks. Like, I don't know any of them that are, and like, even if you're a hardcore Bernie person or an AOC person, no, stop it. Let's just all start over. Like, everybody sucks. But I would have picked him too. Do I think that some of the things he says might be naive? Maybe. He's young and he's going to be the mayor of New York City for the first time. And Obama said a lot of naive things too. So did Reagan. So did Clinton. So does everybody who does this shit for the first time. And then real life fucks them over and hits them in the face, and then they have to be more practical. But at the end of the day, something must tell you as a voter that if everybody on the establishment, left and right, is against this guy, maybe you should be for this guy. Like, the fact that the Democratic Party refuses to embrace him and support him and get behind him as fresh, if you keep cutting off your youthful exuberance at the knees just because you want to retain power until you die of cancer in the middle of voting, like if that's the plan, you need to retain power that badly that you won't embrace what is a movement of enthusiasm, you're fucking Xerox at this point. Like, at this point, you might as well be Xerox. Get over yourself and start mentoring people, embracing him and mentoring him through this.
Man, I have not heard that word.
Xerox?
In a long time.
It's such a tale. Like, Xerox is such an interesting thing because we would not have Apple or Microsoft or any of the fucking technologies that we have without Xerox. Xerox saw these businesses and went, but we're a paper company and we need to stay a paper company. And then they were like, they were funding this lab, this technology lab. All of this shit came from their lab. People that participated in it, people that stole from it. Like, it's just, and instead of embracing the technology and transitioning the business, they just kept leaning really hard and trying to maintain the old standard. I think about this too with, I think it was Rockefeller and gasoline and the combustion engine and how that turned into petroleum, which turned into lighting, which turned into power. Like, if you can embrace what is coming, the technologies that are coming, you can transform yourself to ensure your continued existence. But Blockbuster did the same thing. Like, it's just, you're cannibalizing, afraid to cannibalize your existing business, not realizing that it's either eat or be eaten. And the world is changing and not recognizing the ways the world is changing. It's like, even in the movie industry, in the TV industry, where they keep doing remakes. Everybody asks me, why is there no novelty in cinema or TV shows or any of that anymore? And I said, it's very easy to find the reason. Young people don't watch movies or TV. They're watching YouTube. They're listening to bullshit podcasts like Sheath and Weapon all fucking day. Like, they're not.
Hold up. You better not be. We've talked about this.
We have talked about this. But that's what they're doing. They're not engaging in traditional media. So why would you make, cinema to cater to people who won't spend the money to go to the movie theater and won't take the time to actually engage with the cinema for its artistic purpose? No, you're going to make it for the fucking old people who still need to live in nostalgia. So that's why we have 85 different versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, each one more sucky than the last. Stop making Ninja Turtles. Stop it. You're doing it all fucking wrong. Stop making Scooby-Doo. You don't know how to use Scooby-Doo. Don't do it. Like, I don't need you to remake things that were already fine. Stop it.
It's the sequels upon sequels that I have the worst.
Well, it's the same thing. It's like taking a story and beating it to fucking death because, we're too old to learn new things.
Because I
we
totally
can
want
only
to
relate to the same characters.
I totally want to watch, the character that was obviously in their 20s when that movie first came out. How they're doing in their retirement age.
Yes, I really want to know how Happy Gilmore is doing at 67 years old.
I want to know. How does life turn out?
Is Adam Sandler 67? I don't think so. I think
he's he's not young. Let's put it that way.
Let's put it that way. He's got his AARP card, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, no, I don't. I was very happy with the way that story ended. I don't need more of that story. I would love a new golf story. Mm-hmm. You could tell new stories of hijinks. By the way, is anybody having hijinks anymore?
I don't think so.
Are there new hijinks? I don't think so. I don't think there are shenanigans.
It's not enough of them.
There's not. I haven't seen, what I miss, and I was thinking about this the other day, is the last round of irreverent comedy, movie comedies. And I was thinking the last time I remember was things like Superbad and 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
And those type of movies and those coming of age stories. And I was trying to think of, in the last 5 years, have there been any movies that have spoken to the Gen Z generation of how they've come of age in this world? I know they remade fucking Mean Girls to be more relevant to today.
Jeez.
That also didn't need to fucking happen.
For real.
Nope.
But I don't think so, because again, it's all on YouTube. There aren't even young people who are aspiring to be actors. They just go on YouTube and make a channel.
And that's what we're doing, so
That's
I can't
right.
be mad about it.
Heck yeah, man.
Go get yours, man.
Do what you do.
I'm not mad. I'm not here to protect movies.
Right.
But
We're here to say stop making the same movie.
Yeah, just stop.
Over and over
I
again.
would love to see what a screenplay is, a coming of age screenplay from somebody who's Gen Z's fucking 30 now. Mm-hmm. By the way, their joints hurt too now.
Heck yeah. Also, stop making live action remakes of everything too.
Yeah,
Please.
Disney.
Enough.
No, they're not. No.
Nobody needs it. You're not good at it. Go home.
And I know they're trying to change the problematic aspects of Disney. They're trying to change the problematic aspects of the original whatever and trying to make. I will say live action Lilo and Stitch is good until the end, because I think, and yes, the ending matters and the message behind it matters. It mattered that she stayed and took care of her sister. The fact that that movie ends with her leaving her sister, no self-respecting Asian would do that. Mm-mm. And we say they're not Asian, they're Hawaiian. But Hawaiian is heavily influenced by Pacific Asian island cultures. They are its own Pacific Island culture. It's not really totally Asian, but that culture is unique and very, very different from Western culture. It is more collective. It is more about responsibility. And it is like, it's not a burden. Like, I remember with you, I wanted to take you with me when I went to college. I did. And I would have been just fine. Like, it did not bother me. I did not. And my brother, he stayed. Like, that's what we do. We take care of each other. We stay. We help each other. We take care of each other. So the fact that she left is very aggravating to me. And it tells very much the wrong message. That it isn't destroying yourself to be self-sacrificing.
Yeah.
So that movie made me angry. But then all of the live action remakes, I have yet to watch a live action remake of a classic Disney cartoon and gone, yep, this feels better than the original. The reason the original resonates is it is the original. It was meant for its time. It came out. It was right when it was right. And those aren't the stories to be telling today.
Right. Make new stories. We understand that when we watch some of these things, there are some, like racist or sexist or very terrible things that are in them because of the times that they were made in. But that's all right. We can live with that. These remakes are not doing a good job.
So there is something to be said, because I've seen some stuff where it's like, okay, we have some problematic episodes of SNL and problematic episodes of like 30 Rock, and we remove them from public consumption as if they never existed. Part of me doesn't like that. And not for the reason of, oh, I love that episode, I have so much like fondness for it. And there are lots of pieces of art that don't age well. But part of me thinks that it's important that we see it for what it was in its time. Like, that this was a piece of art made. It doesn't need to be lauded as the best piece of art that's ever been created. It doesn't need a statue. But it should probably be retained as this was something a group of people chose to make. And that doesn't make them bad people, because in its time, it was what anybody would have, like, not anybody, but a lot of people would have made the same episode. Like, it's not, it's like pretending that if we don't show pieces of writing from like 1840 and how racist they were, that all of a sudden we don't have to be accountable for how racist we were. Like I've done a lot of cringe stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like talking about pee-pee times and poopy times.
I thought that was special.
It's very.
I think this episode's really going to age well.
This whole show is fucking cringe. I think we can all agree on that. But I don't know that I want to pretend that I didn't do it. I did do it. And I am aware enough of how absolutely awful it is. Like, I know that this is not good.
Well, but we need to see the progression of things. You don't go from 1840 to 2025 in the blink of an eye. It's not how life works. And so the progression is important to see how people changed. The people from the 1960s and Woodstock and all that stuff are the old people that were desperate to get out of the Democratic Party.
Yes.
We're like, get out, go home. And they're like, but we're the most liberal. Not anymore. You gotta go home.
Yes. Yes, that's right. That's right.
They're like, exactly. Peace, love, and freedom. No.
By the way, in a world that no longer exists, the paradigm in which your version of peace, love, and freedom doesn't exist anymore. Like, even when I think about protests, and it's true, they say with 3.5% of the population takes to the streets, usually you can affect change. I don't know that that's true anymore. Not that I want the protests to stop or think that they're useless in any way, but I don't know that the metrics work. I don't know that the Million Man March would have the same weight done in 2025 as it's done in 1965, 68.
Whatever.
This is horrible. Oh my God. I would so fail the U.S. citizenship
Look, we're not
test.
a history show.
When sometime in the 60s.
You didn't come here for the facts. You came here for bathroom humor.
Yes, we did. Sometime in the 60s, there was the Million Man March. That much I remember. But that mattered, and it mattered that was on TV. And this leads us to the last thing we were going to talk about. And I think actually we will talk about this more because we kind of got there naturally again to the same kind of themes. Is that we don't have the same cultural milestones that we used to have. This is one of the things like he and I talked about ad nauseum for hours before this. And it's been like 2 weeks between recording episodes. We spend a lot of time together. It's probably not healthy.
Oh, of course not.
I do need my space. But we talked about this and how we don't have cultural milestones the same way as we used to, where good or bad. And I'm not talking about that every cultural milestone is a good thing, but there were certain points in time that were fixed points for all people. Like knowing when 9/11, where you were on 9/11. Knowing where you were when you heard about the moon landing if you weren't watching it. Right? Yep. Knowing where you were when Kennedy was assassinated or when Martin Luther King was assassinated. These are things like there's these moments in time that are just shared across the common culture of America. And now I think because media is so democratized, which in many ways can be a good thing. That's the reason I can do this stupid ass fucking show. The way media has been democratized, it allows for everybody to consume the information they wish to consume when they wish it. By the way, that's also not true. The algorithm's fucking controlling your brain.
Oh my God.
Feeding you only what it wants to feed you just because you spent 4.5 seconds watching somebody. You know what happens? You watch one person decorate a fucking cookie and now you have to watch that for the next 6 hours.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell my friends and I, we were, thinking about vacation spots, things to do. I probably did one Google search about what the Biltmore Hotel was. And I have been getting, to this day, years later, advertisements about visiting the Biltmore.
Yes, it's like
on YouTube and everywhere. I'm like, what? It was one search.
It was one time. I kissed a girl. It was one time. Doesn't make me gay. Like, honestly. And again, go back to Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like we have these common moments that when everybody watched the same 4 channels, we all watched the same show. Even if there were those people that didn't watch that show, they knew about that show. Even if you didn't watch that movie, you knew about that movie. Like there were things we all know. In the 90s, it was going to the mall. There was, right? Like there were these things that just, whether you were in bumblefuck Alabama or in, the sticks of Wyoming, or in Michigan, New York, it doesn't matter where you were or what part of the country you were in. It was a shared milestone, a shared landmark on our culture, and we understood it. Like when Ellen DeGeneres came out as gay. When Tom Cruise fucking jumped on the fucking couch in an act of psychopathy, like exuberant psychopathy. Like when Oprah said, "You get a car, you get a car." Like, remember, like even if you didn't watch it live, even if you weren't there, like you knew about it, everybody knew about it, and it formed these connective threads between you and your fellow person as an American. Now, I don't think we have those. I don't think, because everything's pay to play, everything requires you to have access to funds, to pay to have access to the landmark. There are people that have access and there are people that don't. And then there are people who reject it for whatever else they wish to see and experience. Like, I don't know. And there's so much content to consume at this point that everybody's watching a hodgepodge of whatever that they can get their hands on. And then you go between two people and the chances of their Venn diagrams overlapping of what they've seen and experienced recently are different when they used to be more similar. And I'm not trying to say, let's go back to a time with rotary phones and when the hot dog was 5 cents. Like Subway.
Oh, but I really like the rotary phones.
I do.
So good.
It's such a great tactile sensation.
Exactly.
But I'm not trying to be an old lady going, remember the time and it was better. It was very racist. There was lots of war.
Oh, yeah.
We did very bad things to a lot of people for a long time. It wasn't glorious. But I think as a society, if we want to be a nation state of a common culture, we're kind of lacking in those things that bond us regardless of geography within the country. Our experiences are just so different because we're isolating ourselves. And so it's an experience of one. And it used to, we wanted us to be more connected. And I feel like we're actually less connected than we were.
Well, social media and the algorithms and whatever have made it where none of us are on the same wavelength culturally. We all have our own personal culture now. And it's whatever the heck we're privy to. What's popping up on your YouTube versus mine, and so on, right? Like, it's impossible for us to share any moments. I have to be educated about the mayor of New York because that didn't pop up on my news feeds.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right. And that, so I was just thinking about this because I very much hate my algorithm and I feel like I have to reset it a lot because I have diverse interests. And I get bored really quickly where it's showing me the same fucking thing over and over and over again. I get so annoyed.
Well, let me tell you, I was able to finally get the Biltmore advertisement to stop popping up because I did a search on PDF editors. Let me tell you how many advertisements from different PDF editing companies there are. It is a lot.
There's a lot.
It is actually the only type of advertisement I get now.
I'm trying to think what's in my feed on advertisement. Okay, so my algorithm. Okay, I'll talk about first on shows. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. And I'm going to butcher his name because I think he'd appreciate it. Hassan Minhaj. And not Hassan Minhaj. I think, so I watch a lot of stand-up comedy a lot when I work because I need the noise and I like conversational noise so that I don't have to look up. Like I can work and just have background noise. And so I'll put on a lot of stand-up comedy. A lot of times it's the same one I've seen and heard. And so my algorithm only feeds me that. But that's just because I turn it on while I work. And so when I want to actually find something new and interesting to watch, I have to go ask friends for recommendations and then search it because the algorithm's never going to recommend something to me that I like. And I have diverse interests. There's a lot of times where I'll watch something and I like it and then it thinks, okay, well, you must love fucking Liam Neeson. And now all the movies I get are Liam Neeson. Like, I watched Taken one time.
Exactly.
Like, you watch Taken one time. And now that's all you get. And so, okay, don't tell Bruce this, but there are times where I log into his Netflix because he gets different movie recommendations.
I like it.
And I watch it, and then I watch something that I know he wouldn't watch.
Oh,
And now
no.
I've fucked up his algorithm.
Yep. Love it. Phenomenal.
Because all he watches is like fucking action movies. Like, that's all he watches. And like, I think I saw somewhere Revenge of the Thickest was trending.
Oh my God.
And I did it on his profile.
Like, well, I think
It has been sullied.
you're
Great show, by the way.
You're just
Liked it,
bringing-
but
diversity to his algorithm.
I do.
You know, you're expanding his horizons. And
By
I
the
think
way,
that's good.
He would never go to mine because all it is stand-up comedy.
Yeah, pretty much.
He would never
I've been
ever
there.
open my profile.
It's
There's
it's
nothing.
worthless. You can find nothing.
But by the way, so now I think I texted you. I'm like, I'm watching The Devil's Plan, which is about games. It's about nerds and games. So I watched the first season. Super nerds and games.
Okay.
Loved it. Watched it in its full Korean with subtitles. Yes, it was awesome. I binged it. It was amazing. Second season, they clearly upped the budget.
Oh.
So now the production value has gone way up. But the issue that I'm having with it is because of that, they didn't do like open casting for a bunch of fucking game nerds. So it's all a bunch of Korean celebrities and a few they did do an open casting, but it's not all open casted people. But it's people that kind of know each other. They're celebrities in Korea. They're like, oh my God, you're here. Oh my God. Oh my God. And so they know each other. They are a lot prettier. Not that the first season cast was ugly by any stretch of the imagination. They were all, obviously it's TV, they're all reasonably good looking. But you can tell that the second, either they've upped the makeup budget, but now there's models and actresses and like, it's proper pretty. So I'm watching this and I think they, now they can afford the appearance fee of a celebrity. And so they're doing that, and now they have more games. And I only watched the first episode of the second season, and I love the games. I like that kind of show, and I am watching it in the original Korean. But the reason I bring this up is now I get stand-up comedy and all sorts of Korean TV. They're like, you must like this because it's Korean.
Well, all them K-dramas. You got to start getting into them K-dramas. They're all the rage.
You speak from experience. Is there a show that I should be watching?
So many.
So many.
Because my friend screwed up her algorithm.
Doing the same thing.
With K-dramas. And now it's the only thing that she gets on her Netflix. And so, yeah, she has seen so many different types. It is, but there was one that was really good. One that was like about this like VR gaming thing, but then it like comes to life and like actually affects you in real life type thing. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So some of the K-dramas can really be good, but just know that the moment you start, it's all you'll ever get.
Yeah, once you jump down the rabbit hole of K-drama, you will never be able to emerge. This is where you live now. I think that's what's important. And you know what I just realized?
Oh boy.
The battery is going to die. So.
It's telling us a message.
Yes, and I can't believe we talked about drivel for 2 hours.
I can totally believe it.
That is what we do best.
That's what we do.
And now that we've shot our load.
It's not that kind of show.
Now that we've done all this, and K-dramas and porta-potties. And I don't remember what else we talked about. It doesn't matter.
We're solving the world's problems.
We are, yeah.
One problem at a time.
Yeah, just reset your algorithm. And you will never see me again.
Exactly.
Reset your algorithm.
Yeah.
You don't need to hear any more of this.
It's super important.
It is. But that now you understand that we decided not to have a truly topical show and really dive deep like John Oliver. No, we decided to do this careless, meandering, ill-informed episode that is all ADHD. It's just all
but I think that's valuable.
This is all an ADHD disjointed train. And you were here for it.
And that really speaks volumes about what quality you are.
Yeah, it tells us a lot about who you are.
And I feel like you're going to have to answer a lot of questions about yourself.
Yes, there is some soul searching we all must do at the end of this.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think we all need to just come together and recognize that things were done today. And it did in fact happen. And we're not going to pretend it didn't.
So if you made it here because you were driving to Disney, I don't know where you're driving. Probably not Disney because you wouldn't have this on with kids.
I hope not.
If you were driving to
Unless
somewhere...
you want them to become cultured.
Where are you driving? Somewhere where adults go. But not those kind of adults. I hope you enjoyed the show and had a moment where you giggled or didn't. But just remember, not all pee-pee times are poopy times, but all poopy times are pee-pee times. So choose your bathroom wisely.
I feel that.
Yeah, that is the moral of today's episode. This is Lethal Sheathel.
This is Biggie Tro.
I don't know if we'll do... Yeah, we'll do another episode. It'll be fine.
Well,
I don't know. Episode 15,187. Horrors continue.
Well, we've set a standard, though, so when's the next holiday?
Labor Day?
Okay. We'll see you on the eve before Labor Day.
Yes, we will. I don't know. I don't want to set a high bar. We kind of just go with the flow here. Yeah,
we'll probably see you sometime, before Christmas, maybe.
No, I don't want to set this precedent. True. There's a lot of holidays going into October, November, December. That's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
I don't know that I don't,
they're not worth it.
Who's not worth I don't know. I don't have words. I'm just telling you that there are days I just walk in here and turn this thing on and then I start talking. So that's what's going to happen.
It may happen at some point, but just know that when you tune into episode 43,977, just know you've missed a lot.
You've missed a lot.
And you're going to need to go back and catch up.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you love this episode, or if you at least didn't hate it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss what's coming next. And hey, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Until next time, stay bold, stay real, peace out, deuces, and keep speaking your mind. See you soon.